The hillside over there is Duluth, Minnesota, which is right across the water and the high bridge from Superior, Wisconsin, where I currently am. Lighthouse, Superior Lighthouse. Oh, I just see that there's people out there. Good morning. If you have not met me yet, my name is Marcy. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning friend, welcome back. It is so nice to have you here. Today is my, well, not today, but this video is my 50th Flosstube / crafting video. And to help make it a little bit more special, I decided to do a what do they call it, on location type thing. I decided to come out to Lake Superior and I thought I would bring you guys with me. Now you're facing, the water is behind you. I planned for sound, so I have a microphone, although I don't have it on me, because I thought you guys might like the sound of, you know, the lake, all the different sounds. But what I didn't think about was the sun. I can barely see my screen, so I hope I'm not being blown out as I record. For a different intro, I thought I would record a little bit of the drive in to the lake, because I've always thought it was a really pretty drive coming out here. And I also had no idea just how long of a drive it was. I think it was almost 10 minutes from the time I turned onto Moxon Mike Road to the parking lot. And then I drove past where I meant to come in. So I had to do a little turnaround. What I think I'm going to do is put that whole thing on at the end of the video, but just a little bit of it at the beginning because I wanted to do something different. I will not be recording the whole video out here because I feel I have a lot to share for this one and I don't have everything done that I wanted to talk about, so I brought my bag of goodies of just my cross stitch. And there are more people here than I thought there would be. I mean, I knew there would be some people here, but I mean, it's the middle of the week, midday morning, and oh wow. Part of why I wanted to record a video out on the lake is because years ago, I used to watch a knitting YouTube channel, and I don't remember the name of the channel, but the lady's handle was Misky Knits, I think. And at the time she recorded it, she lived out in Hawaii, so she could do some of these beach ones, and it was really a lot of fun to watch because it was something different. So I thought I would do that myself, but with a Lake Superior twist. Okay, I have some show notes, and I have some whips to share, a finished object. And remember how the last episode I said I wasn't going to start anything new for a while? I lied. I have a few new starts to share with you. So let's get to it. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of editing for this video. And I'm not hitting pause. And I didn't pull anything out of my bags. So I guess this one will be kind of uncut. All right, first thing in the current whips I wanted to share with you is, I just realized I forgot a board. First thing I wanted to share with you all is my USA 250 project by Wrought Iron Stitching that I purchased from her Etsy shop. Here are my stats. I'm doing it on 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. I'm using the called for DMC floss. Let's put up what it looked like before. Now I will say I have not put much on since I last shared this one, but enough that I wanted to share it. And so I did the stripes on this one, and that was it. Though the reason why I didn't put a lot on that one at the time, I'll get to that later. A new location, and I am just totally thrown off my game, it feels like. So that was USA Today. The next one I want to share is Farmyard Friends. I am doing this as a stitch along with Allison over at Mrs. AZ Family Zoo and Stitchy Plum. I started it on April 1st. I dyed 14 count Aida fabric. I'm using the called for DMC. This is what it looks like. I will share what it looked like the last time I shared this. And here I am. Now those stars took me a lot longer than I thought they would. I'm really pleased with how the pink turned out on this star. And I gotta say, being out in the sunlight, I'm pretty happy with how that rooster looks in the sun. He doesn't look nearly as washed out as I thought he did. The last whip that I worked on is one that I haven't touched in, well, since May, for hashtag Mudpuppy May. It is George's Green Frog. George's Green Frog by Mudpuppy Stitchery. 14 count Aida, brown fabric, called for DMC. It was one of her Patreon freebies. Here's what it looked like before. And here is what it looks like now. And I hope that's in the screen because I can't see. And I have a pseudo live audience. There's a gal over on the, I don't know what you would call that. It's a wall, a seawall. She's over there reading, I think. I thought I heard her talking to somebody, but that might have just been my imagination. Okay, so that was all the whips that I have. Finished object. I don't have my project card with this one. Finished FFO. You'll have to forgive me. I feel like I'm not saying the words that I need to say in the order that they should be in, but I have a fully finished object. It is my cherries chart that I did for my birthday sal. The cherries is by LumiStitch. I'll have a link to the pattern down in the show notes. And anybody I mention their channel will be listed down in the show notes. I did this on 14 count Aida, opalescence, called for DMC colors. I have to put here when I finished it because it was a really quick finish. And here we go. I've got somebody coming. And that's the fabric I used. Oh, I just realized I had it upside down. Good morning. I paused it while he walked past and I got to pet his sweet little dog. I suppose that's part of the fun of being on location. You just don't know what to expect. And I think that's part of the fun of it, I guess. It helps it feel more natural, like you're sitting with the person and visiting with them. Okay, I shared my current whips. I shared my fully finished object. Oh, secret stitch. I finished my secret stitch. I don't know when I will be able to share what the product was, but I will be sure to do so when I can. I started that on June 23rd and I finished it on July 26th. I think I said that it was probably between 4,000 and 4,500 stitches. I was incorrect. It was 3,540 stitches. And it was one of those kind of stitches, just like Jessica's at LumiStitch, where I start stitching it and then I just want to keep working on it, and I call that potato chip stitching because it's so much fun and I just want to keep going until it's done. So yeah, I am looking and I think I might have forgotten a project. Nope, I have it here. Okay, I have 2 new starts. And the first one is Love is Patient. That is a stitch along that I'm doing with Denise over at Black Ribbon Stitch Studios. Her channel will be listed down below. I just realized I don't have project cards for either of these projects yet, so... Oh, no. I take that back. I have one for Love is Patient, Love is Kind. This is what it looks like. I'm doing 16 count Ada this time around in ivory color, called for DMC. And I have 500 stitches in it so far. And this is where I am so far. I'm really liking how this one's progressing too, and the colors are nice and bright. I'm pretty glad with the color I chose for the fabric, because there's one color that is not white, kind of an off-white, and I wanted it to pop. It's B5200 and it's for the little tails on the bunnies, which get outlined in a different color, but I wanted to be sure that those little tails showed. And I'm using it in my bunny bag that I stitched. I'm sorry, I'm just admiring the view while I put this away. Admiring the view while I put this away. The other start that I started is a for Mare Sin City Stitcher on Flosstube here. Her birthday is this month. She started a birthday sal. The chart is called Picking Strawberries. It is another chart by Jessica over at LumiStitch. I will put a picture here of what it looks like because I don't have anything with me to show what it looks like. I'm using the project bag that I bought from Jessica with the kittens. I finally found this fabric and I was so excited that I bought a yard of it, and I plan to make a knitting project bag with this fabric. I'm using the Call for DMC. I'm doing something different this time around with the floss. Usually I use floss tags, and this time I decided to use one of these floss keepers by Holt. Now this one I got as a freebie one of the last times I ordered from Fat Quarter Shop. I have a few different ones, and I thought, why am I not using them? So I thought I would give this one a try. So far I really like it, although it feels weird to be writing in pen on the back, and I hope I can get that pen off afterwards. If anybody has any tips, please share. So Call for DMC, I'm using 14 count Aida that I got from Fat Quarter Shop, that I got from Hobby Lobby in the Spa colorway. 500 stitches on it. I have almost all of the greenery on the chart completed, which wasn't as much as I thought it would be. The greenery, I mean. And here I am so far. Yeah, I started over here, worked down, came up, went over, did all this, and then worked down. So now I know how big the chart is gonna be, the finished project. It's gonna be fast. There's, I think, 1,800 stitches for it. And if I was a really good girl and I worked very hard on it every night, I could probably have it done by the end of the week. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to enjoy this one a little bit. Other things that I wanted to share about, but I won't share them while I'm here because I don't have them with me. If I did, I would have been carrying a lot more stuff with me than I did, and then I would have felt really awkward sitting here and talking to my phone like this. But I have some knitting, the perpetual knitting on my sock, my vanilla sock, and I have an update on my Porcupine island shawl. I put maybe 20 some more rows into it, but I haven't touched it in the last few weeks. Crochet, I have been working on my Battenberg sal that I'm doing with Leanne Stitches, and I have made 2 or 3 squares, Maeve Squares, for the crochet blanket crochet along that I'm doing with Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin. I also made a little, I also did a little Premie Octopus that I made for a nephew and a niece who are expecting their first little girl, along with a blanket. So I guess I've done some sewing too. Spinning. True to form, I started out really strong with Tour de Fleece, and probably that last week or so I just stopped. I can go and go and go with spinning, but then I get those bobbins filled up and then I have to ply them together, and then that goes slower, although it's still faster than just regular spinning a single. Yeah. So I started off strong and finished off weak, but that's okay. I mean, the point was I got some spinning done and I got a lot of yarn spun up. I still need to figure out the current yardage for that. And when I record the video clips for all this other stuff, I'll hopefully be more succinct and tight with what I'm sharing. But for now, I've got a lot of yarn that needs soaking and whacking and yardage figuring out. I got some goodies in the mail. Actually, I have one of them with me right now, unintentionally, because I meant to keep everything together and share everything at once, but for the sake of being here, this is one of the goodies that I got in the mail from Patty over at Stitching with My Kitties. She sent me a whole bunch of goodies, some for my birthday, which was back in June, and then also some stuff for the giveaway that I'll be doing for this episode. So I will talk about all that stuff in the same segment, so stay tuned for that one. Life updates. Been working in the garden a little bit. I've been watering almost every day because we haven't had any rain in the last several weeks, so that is a little frustrating. But the garden is growing. My tomatoes are growing so tall. The cucumbers, they were growing so long, and then we had one really hot day and they they wilted, and they haven't really recovered from that, even though they only missed one day worth of watering. I'm working on a blog post right now about some stuff, so I'll be sharing in there about what I've recently canned, what I've recently pulled from the garden, and started fermenting. This morning, I had an appointment at the clinic because I'm still having issues with stuff, and the person that I saw is a physical therapist, and she listened to my symptoms and she offered some suggestions and said, well, this is what we can try going forward. And I said yes to basically all of it because I am pretty tired of dealing with the chronic pain. Now, I don't talk about it a lot on the videos because I don't want any focus to be on that, but it's been a pretty big part of the last 2 years. It's gotten better, but I still deal with it daily, which is frustrating and annoying. And I know some people have something going on with themselves that's worse than what I'm dealing with, but we're not comparing because everybody's pain is valid and important, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The lady that I saw today, she said one of the things that I kind of jokingly say about stuff and about myself is that I'm broken. And she said, without my even saying anything, that no, you are not broken, and if you've ever thought that, you need to not think that, and I don't want anybody saying words like that. Okay, duly noted. So after my appointment, I went to the library and I picked up some books. Hold on. Got a lot going on here. 3 boats and a little flock of ducks, it looks like. Oh, there's another boat over there. I hope this is all showing in the screen. I gotta say, having a tripod out here like this is really nice. It's a lot more relaxing. And I gotta say, I am so used to talking with my hands that I'm still talking with my hands, but you can't see it. Where was I? Oh, I went to the library after my appointment and running to the store, and I picked up some books. I recently picked up the book Beloved because I saw people discussing it in a Facebook group, a book Facebook group. Without really knowing what it was about, I had like a general idea of what it was about, and I thought, you know, I can read that. I can read the hard things. But then they started talking about it being horror, and I thought, oh no, I can't do that. So the book went back to the library, and I picked up some cozy mysteries and some knitting magazines, and I think a couple knitting books. And what else? Oh, my husband and I have started a garage makeover. We decided that, okay, he's going to be retiring in a few years, and he wants a space that he can work on, one that's like organized and somewhat more tidy than what we've got going on right now, and I'm totally for that. I'm not going to say no. I probably take up half the house with all my crafty crap. So if he wants to redo the garage, I'm for that. So we've been hitting the big box stores, Harbor Freight, Fleet Farms, various places like that, trying to see what's available for tool chests and toolboxes and stuff. And we found some stuff that he wants and ordered it. And then we picked up some paint and decided to start painting. So I'll put a picture of what we've got done so far right here. I really hope that's not too loud. Oh. So that's like the big thing that we've been working on when we haven't been working on like garden stuff. Yeah, just the weather hasn't been very nice for doing much of anything else. The weather forecast keeps promising rain, then it doesn't, and it's been humid. Well, there's some more people here, so I will... Wow, there's more people down that way, more people down that way. So I guess I will call that for here. Hi, it is now several days since I last recorded that bit with me on the beach at Lake Superior. Back in the she shed, you may notice that something's a little different. Yes, I believe in the last section I was talking about my husband and I kind of renovating the garage, and in order to make some room for something that's coming in, I said, let's put the freezer in the she shed. It'll be fine. And it is. And actually, I'm already thinking of like, oh, that could be used as like a, I want to say workbench, because I've been watching so many garage type YouTube videos. But I could use that as a workstation for cutting fabric. If I ever come out here and work on a quilt that I have said that I'm going to do for the last few years. Because I have a sewing machine over here. That's my first Janome. Tangent right off the bat, right? So yeah, that is there. My rigid heddle loom is now over here. Which... you know, it's probably in a better spot there to kind of nag me that I should probably use it. Yeah, there's a few changes out here, all good, and actually it kind of helps it feel a little more cozy, which, I mean, it's a vibe. To say what the other YouTuber content creators say, it's a vibe. It wasn't necessarily the vibe I was originally expecting when we first turned this into the she shed, but I like it. I like it a lot. I was out here yesterday, or was it Saturday? I can't remember. All the days blend together. Anyways, I was tidying some things up and reorganizing a few other things and cleaning a little bit, and it was so nice out here, and I really enjoyed it. I probably could have spent the whole day out here. Well, now that I got that little tangent out of the way, this section of the video I'm going to chat about my knitting and crochet and a little bit of sewing. I'm trying to think if there was anything else crafty wise that I wanted to share, but I don't think there is. I got some stuff in the mail that I want to chat about, and then I also want to discuss some of the shares to help celebrate my 50th episode on Flosstube. Okay, first thing that I want to chat about is my Porcupine Island shawl that I have been working on since June 16th, 2026. This is being knit with old Forbidden Fiber Co. stash that I had from before they were known as Forbidden Fiber Co. Well, we don't need to see the tape, I guess. I've showed that before. I am knitting it on US 2 knitting needles, which is 2.75 millimeters. The color is blue, actually called Wisp. And this is what the pattern looks like. It is a free download on Ravelry. And I have not got as much completed as I would have liked from the last time that I shared with you. Just from the progress keeper to there. I can't bring this with me when we're traveling anywhere, so it's pretty much exclusively house knitting, and I have been actually in the mindset for crochet, so this poor thing hasn't gotten a lot of attention. And we're reaching a point now where the rows are taking a little bit longer, where for the first section, I pretty much zoomed right through it. And now this one, I should time myself. I think, yeah, I'm not even gonna guess. It's taking me a lot longer to complete a row. And even the purling is taking a little bit longer than what I think it should. So maybe I'll get a little bit more on it once the cold weather sets in, but right now I think I'm just a little too busy to really give this the attention that it deserves. Oh, I forgot to say the designer name is Denise E.M. Bartels. The next knitting item I want to share about are the vanilla socks on Magic Loop that I'm working on. I did not make a project card for these. I do not remember when I started them, so I'm pretty sure I wrote it down in my book of days, so I'll put it here. Or it's on my blog, because I try to do the show notes on my blog as well with photos. So if you're so inclined to go check that out, it is at amniconstudio.blogspot.com. I am using the vanilla sock pattern by Kay Litton. What is her channel name? Crazy Sock Lady? Very low priced PDF that I got from Etsy, $2. Otherwise, you can watch her video. I am doing 15 rounds on the cuff, 60 rows for the leg, and I finished my first sock, so I am kind of excited to learn that it takes me 68 rows for my foot before I start decreasing for the toe. Here's the first sock all done. I blazed right through it. And I did my first Kitchener in forever, which I just realized I've got a little itty bitty line for that very end. But yeah, very happy with it. Not that I thought knitting magic loop was going to be complicated, because I've kind of dabbled with it in the past, but it is, it goes a lot faster than I thought it would. And I just, excuse me while I have a moment, because I realized I didn't talk about the yarn at all. It is Felici fingering weight yarn that I got from Knit Picks. I can't read what it says. I'm sorry. Oh, if only I had my glasses. Let's see. Does that help? No. Santorini? It's blue. It's very blue. So I started knitting it on I started knitting on the second sock, and I just completed the leg. And now I can split for the heel and start working on that. And for a while there, I was gonna work on this just in the car, and it didn't matter how long it was gonna take. And that's still true. But I want this long needle for another project, and I'll just go back to the socks on 2 circulars for the car knitting. So, I mean, not terribly exciting, but it's going fast, and I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm keeping it in a bag that I sewed up about a month ago, maybe. Don't know the name of the designer from the fabric. I ordered it from Fat Quarter Shop. Okay, the next project I want to talk about is actually 2 different crafts. My nephew and his wife are expecting their first baby, and I wanted to make something for them. So on the very off chance one of you are watching, please fast forward or just close your eyes or just stop watching the video. But really, I don't think they're watching this at all. One of the things that I like to make for newborn babies is something that I came across, I don't even, how many years ago? Probably 8 years ago, maybe. And it is, I think the official title for it is Premie Octopus, which is these crochet octopus that people stitch up for the NICUs around the world, with the idea that the tentacles remind the babies of the umbilical cords in utero, and it helps them with growing and getting to the point where they don't have to be in the NICU anymore. However, I like the idea of something small and something that they can grab onto, that they won't easily lose. And some of the moms that I have made these for have come back and told me that they really appreciated receiving this particular crochet toy for the babies. And I made a pink one. See, and I can see how the little newborn baby hands, they can just grab onto it and they're not going to lose it. The pattern that I use, I actually I couldn't access the website anymore. I don't know what the deal is with that, if they let their registration expire or if they just took it down or what have you. I know there's a few different patterns for these out on the internet, but I am particular about this one. I like this one the best. And I'll put a link to the, I think it's called, was it the web archive for it? Because I like this one so much that I remembered, hey, maybe it will be on the, or is it called Wayback Machine? I don't remember, but I will put the link to that on here in the show notes because I really like that one. And also it has links to other blogs where you can make, you know, how to make the eyes, little different face expressions, little hats, little bows. I don't do any of that. I don't want to say it's above my skill set or anything like that, but I think these are really cute on their own and don't need the extra stuff. So there's that. And then the other thing that I like to make are blankets. Again, somewhere I saw on the internet, somebody had the idea for this kind of blanket, and of course that's just, I couldn't even tell you where I first got the idea from, if it was on Facebook, Instagram, I don't do Pinterest, or just a random blog. But it's the minky fabric and then a flannel fabric, a yard of each, and then just sew them together. And the babies the babies love the blankets, the parents love the blankets. And this one I made pink minky fabric, I think is what it's called. And then I went with little horses because the mom is a horsewoman and I thought she would appreciate that. And these blankets are always so soft. Literally, it's so easy. You sew them together, you know, right sides together. You flip it out. Of course, you leave a little bit of a hole that you can pull the fabric through, and then you sew it shut, and you're done. And super soft, super cozy. I would say it's just the right size for putting over a car seat or having in the stroller or throwing in the crib or even just laying down on the floor for tummy time. I mean, it, you know, gifts don't have to be fancy to be very well received. I think one of the baby girls that I made this one for, like, it turned into her lovey for probably the first 5 years of her life. So she didn't go anywhere without it, and you know, that made me really happy to hear that she loved it so much. That, I think, that is it for the knitting crochet. No, that is it for the knitting, definitely. Crochet, we're just getting started. I can't believe I forgot about the next two things when I've been almost hyper focusing on them, it feels like. I am doing a Battenberg crochet along with my friend Leanne over at Leanne Stitches. At the beginning of the year, I didn't bring any of this stuff out with me, but I'll have B-roll here somewhere. I started the Battenberg Squares and back in January, and I think I've decided that I need 800 squares to make a good size blanket. I'm using worsted weight yarn, where she's using, I think, fingering weight doubled up. And I am at about 120 squares so far, which I really thought I would be further along with this than I am, because I told myself if I do 3 squares a day, I'll have them done in however many months, and then I'll start working on white squares, and once I've got like 200 of those done, I'll start sewing them together and then just kind of keep going as I go. I have, at one point, and I don't know how many of these squares I have, I did the squares incorrectly. I made them like granny squares instead of the solid granny squares that the Battenberg pattern calls for. I did them with the shell clusters, I think they're called. So I have a whole bunch of those, and I'm really debating on whether to keep those and integrate them with the blanket or start a different kind of blanket and make that into like a baby blanket maybe, or I just start a whole different thing with that and like turn it into a throw size. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. I have plenty of time. And obviously that blanket is not going to be done nearly as fast as I thought it would be, because well, if I crochet too much, the wrist starts bothering me. And I think I hit the crochet a little too hard at one point and the wrist was bothering me, so I had to stop that for a good long while. So that's where I am with the Battenberg blanket. And now the other crochet blanket I am doing with Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin. We are doing the Maeve Square that came from, I don't remember the name of it. It was like a sampler granny square blanket, crochet along from 2025 by Madam something. The link to this square will be in the show notes too. Kat and I were talking and we both came up with, hey, why don't we make a blanket using one of the squares? And the Maeve one is the one that we settled on. And that blanket, that's another one where I thought, oh, if I do one square a week, I will have this done in, well, it was 16 squares or 20 squares. I think we're going for 20 squares, and I've got 9 squares done now. So I'm aiming, I'm hoping to get this one done by the end of the year. I have encountered some hiccups with the yarn, as in I didn't have as many colors of yarn. I'm using stash yarn, acrylic yarn, which is worsted weight, I think mostly Red Heart yarn, because I'm doing it in solid colors, and I think Red Heart's the only one that I have solid colors in. Yeah. I'm trying to stick to a certain texture for the blanket as well, so I'm not mixing in like Karen's Simply Soft yarn, because that's too soft feeling to go. I have texture issues, so where was I? Okay, so I've got 9 squares done. 10 of those squares of the 20 that I'm going to make, they're going to be gold colored because of a failed knitting project from earlier in the year, and I don't want to keep that yarn in stash because I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. So I thought, let's use it in the blanket. So 10 squares will be that really pretty saffron color, and then I decided the other 10 squares, I say this now and I think I'm already run into an issue with the greens, but 2 squares of each color. So I've already got 2 squares of red, 2 squares of turquoise, maybe 2 squares of orange. If not, I will very soon. And then once all the squares are done, I'm going to, I think, mattress stitch them all together. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Still haven't decided. Where I think Kat is sewing everything together as she goes along, and I'm not sure how far along she is on this because I haven't seen her put out a crochet video for a little bit. So, but I'm pretty sure she might have still been working on it, but she had something else going on too. Okay, those are all the yarn projects that I've been working on. And see, I already chatted about spinning. Okay, I guess I'll share what I have received in the mail. In one of my previous Flosstube videos, I mentioned that I was going to be hitting 50 episodes very soon. And Patty over at Stitching with My Kitties, she spoils me. She spoils me, and I love it, and I love her, and she is so sweet. She contacted me and said, I'd like to send you something for a giveaway to help celebrate your 50th episode, because that's kind of a big deal, or something along those lines. And I said, yes, I would love that. And in fact, I was already contemplating contacting her and asking her if she would make something for me. And she said she would love to, and she just give her a little bit of time and she'd send me something. Okay, and I said, there is no rush because this isn't going to come out till August, and I figured I was going to be like in the throes of preserving stuff from the garden and a few other things, and boy, I was right because I've been busy. And she sent me a box of goodies, and I was like, oh my gosh, she sent me so many wonderful things. And let's just, okay, like, and this is for me to keep, is this beautiful beeswax waxer, which I have not yet figured out a place of honor for this one, because it is so pretty. Let's see, get it closer to see the detail. Yeah, little bee on a honeycomb. Oh, but wait. Okay, so the first thing that I want to share is she sent me some pens that she made. They're the kind that got the liquid in here and the free floating stuff in it. Ooh, that works. So this has got little pieces in it that have cherries, and there's a theme. Here's another one, which I would have swore there was more in here, so maybe I did something. And then this one is got, oh, I'm looking at the wrong section, red glitter in it. Very fun. And Patty, one of her crafts is resin, and she has really been going to town with it lately and coming up with some really nice things. What? I don't think I have anything small to hold this up against. She sent me 4 resin sets. Oh, I can use my notebook. I never get this right. The floss ring bling, or key fobs, charms. Here's one. It's a butterfly. This, here we go. Okay, there you can kind of see that there's a shape to it. There's a little bit, there's some beveling to it. And each one's got the little 2026 charm on it. And a little frog. I don't want him to fall, but he's so cute. So that's one set. Oh. And then one set, I looked at it and I said, that I'm keeping for myself. This one comes with a needle threader, but there's a magnet on it. A butterfly. And the reason why I wanted to keep this one is the sparkles. It wasn't until I think I was looking at these and like, oh, that's so pretty, that I realized I totally understand now why with fishing and fishing lures, why like the sparkles, why we do that for the fish, because it's eye-catching, and we are the exact same way. We like the pretty sparkly shiny stuff. Another zipper pull. I swear I do know the names of all this stuff. This one, a square one. Oh, the lighting outside changed. But I've got a lamp right here too. I wonder, ooh, that might work. Do you see what I mean by like the vibe? Because I have a new lamp out here and I had that on and it helped everything feel cozy. Where, I mean, this light is good for crafting and stuff, but when you want to be cozy, I mean, that light, but it's good to have it off. And then the frog. Look at that frog. He's so, he's sparkly and pretty. Just pulling them all out. Now this one is an Americana theme. This is a needle minder. My girl approves, if you heard that. This one has got like the old-fashioned, I don't know what you call it, quill pen to paper. I'm guessing that's supposed to be the Constitution. All the sparkles. And another one. The shape's just a little bit different. Boy, I'm starting to feel like I'm coming into my own on sharing these. I've got it almost all figured out. That's another set. And then the last set. Another Americana theme. This has got little stars in it. Needle minder. The butterfly. And another zipper pull, floss bling type thing. So those were the sets. And then she also sent me some counting pins, which I'm assuming she meant for me to keep because they are chickens. Aren't those cute? Very adorable. And then she included something that I wasn't quite sure what to do with, but I figured they had to be a finishing thing. Oh, now that I'm looking at them again, maybe not. I don't know. I'm totally new to some of this finishing stuff. And if you can't tell, those are cherries. And they go with my birthday stitch along project that was cherries by Jessica at LumiStitch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these and I'm going to insert them into the pillow finish. Very cute. But that's not all. She also made me a stitchy box for my birthday. And I love it so much. It's so pretty. And I've had it actually on my little rolling cart that's right next to my chair in the living room. She said she bought the fabric because she saw the fabric and she just knew she had to use it to make a stitchy box. So there's the fabric, the cherries, and then I hope I don't drop anything. Here is the stitchy box. And she made a little, I'm sure this will go right next to it, or maybe it's supposed to go in. I don't, I've had it inside the stitchy box. There's a little bitty butterfly waxer. Oh, there's detail there, I promise. Just too light to pick up. And then she found little cherry beads. She used cherry ribbon, matching scissors, and a matching floss brush. And there's cherry on the top. I don't remember what these are called, but they've got a little sponge in it, so you can moisten your floss. Little flower on top of that. Little tchotchke with the same bit little things that's in one of the pens. Boy, I tell ya, it's really hard to get to focus on those little things. And then a zipper pulls and a needle minder. Don't want to miss anything. And then the fabric inside, how she finished it, is just so cute. And she even included this kind of needle threader and some clips. Yeah, it's just so cute. And then there's it's that kind. So thank you, Patty. I will treasure this one always. I also forgot that she also included a needle keeper, I think it's called. I'll put a picture here. I didn't have it with me because it's already in a project. I just had to use it right away. So I am putting everything back together in its little bags so nothing gets lost. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a couple of these now and save one for a future giveaway. Hopefully when I reach 500, I will give away, I think I'll save this one for a future giveaway, because it might take me another year to reach 500 and I feel the patriotic ones should be given away in 2026. As I'm putting them away, I'm trying to think of words. I think the one, thinking as I'm going along, and I apologize for the pauses, I think what I'm gonna do this go around is for the shares, if you want the one that has the one with the quill and constitution in it, do the number 1. And then if you want the other one, which has the butterfly on it, patriotic too. And then just to be, I'll put pictures of these over on the blog so you can have another look at it, because I know you can't always see everything very well in the video, especially if the lighting's not just right. And then the pens, well, I'm going to keep the cherry one. I will randomly put one with each giveaway one. So this one with the quill, 1, the one with the butterfly, 2, and then I decided to make a couple things for the giveaway as well. I thought it would be fun. Now remember, I'm not a professional. I thought it would be fun to dye up some 14 count Aida fabric and give away. And I am a measure with your heart kind of girl, so I'll never be able to replicate this fabric. So I hope it is well received. 14 count opalescence. I dyed it with pink Rit dye because I don't have any professional dyes for cotton fabric. So if you would like to win this, use the word pink. And because it is getting fall and we can always use project bags, right? I made one of these. And I am including a thread keeper with it. I didn't have the Pellon stuff that I usually have. I was shocked that I was out. So it is a softer thread bed. And actually, I think this, I kind of like the idea of having a softer thread bed better, because I usually put mine over the arm on my recliner, and my thread beds that I've made otherwise, they don't lay down completely. They usually pop up like this a little bit. So if you would like to try to win this one, just use the word fall. A couple random things that I wanted to mention on this video. I know I started talking about some life stuff when I was at the lake. I don't remember all that I talked about, but I do remember mentioning the garage project, and we're still working on that a little bit. Mostly my husband, because I can only help him with so much stuff, and I'd say we're kind of on hold with that project now until his stuff comes in. A lot of stuff had to be ordered from Harbor Freight because they don't hold a lot of that stuff in stock. There's no room for back stock, apparently. So we got a lot done, cleared out a lot of things of what he had out there already, rearranged a few things, and he is now painting the upper cupboards that he's got out there. And they're looking really good. Such an improvement, and it's going to be so much brighter. And I know we're not done with it even once the stuff comes in, because I am pretty sure we're going to end up doing something to the walls out there. This house was built back in the 70s, and I think it's had a wood stove out in the garage almost the whole time until we purchased this place and we ripped that out. So the walls are pretty smoky out there. Didn't realize how bad it was until we started painting. And I think the previous homeowners were smokers, so that's not helping things at all either. It's been a lot of painting, repainting, before finally giving up and doing the primer. I didn't do any painting this past weekend just because he gets up earlier than me, and I'm like processing being awake in the morning usually. So we got a lot done. Like I said, we moved this out here. We moved the other one, the other freezer over, and it went really well. And then knocked out the lower cabinets and hauled that out and away. So that's where we are with that, for those who were mildly curious and had read the blog, because I wrote about that a little bit on my last life update. Gardening stuff, tomatoes are starting to come in. I'm starting to pick cabbage and make sauerkraut. Broccoli, we're still enjoying it fresh. We haven't had the need to process that or anything. Not that I don't think we ever have. I'm keeping my eyes out on the green beans to see if any are producing, but I think any harvest we get from green beans is going to be a small one. Cucumbers are still just coming in like crazy though. And I just got our hunting tags for the family. So my husband and I have been focusing on that a little bit too, getting ready for hunting season. If you're curious, I write about that more on the blog too. And I've got some game cam photos, some cute ones. We have a bear. Don't know how to discourage him, but we have a bear roaming through and stopping and sunning himself and stuff. And we've got some big cats cruising through as well. along with some turkeys and turkey babies. Like I said, photos are on the blog if you want to see them. So with the combination of the gardening stuff and now getting ready for hunting, the Flosstube videos are probably going to slow down a little bit because I'm going to be not crafting nearly as much. We'll see. I don't want to say that, oh, this is going to happen, and then it doesn't. But if the videos aren't coming out quite as frequently for the next few months, maybe, that'll be why. I just don't have as much crafting completed to share with you guys. Reminder that I blog at mniconstudio.blogspot.com. I am on Instagram. I just realized I've been swinging back and forth, and I'm sorry. I am on Instagram at mniconstudio. It is a private account. Request to follow. I follow back. I thought I should make the point of mentioning that I am not on TikTok and I am not on Twitter/X. For me, Instagram and Facebook is enough. And I also have a Facebook group. It is small but mighty because I just started it. So it is kind of quiet right now. But you know how that goes when a group is just getting started. That is how it is. So if you want a quiet space on Facebook, feel free to join the group. There's a few questions to join to make sure you're not a bot or spam. I have the link to that down in the show notes. And I think that is it. I did record an outro while I was at the lake, so that will be at the end of the video. A reminder that I will also have the video of the drive to the lake at the end of the video, sped up, because I don't think anybody wants to sit through 10 minutes of road work. But if you wanted to see what it looks like going to the lake up in my area, or going to Lake Superior, that will be on after that. And if you don't, well, that's fine too. So even though I'm pretty sure I said it in the last little bit, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of my community. And until next time, stay safe. Bye. 50. I cannot believe I've made it to 50 episodes. I also can't believe it's taken me almost 8 years to reach 50, where some people can make that in a year. It just goes to show how much stuff has been going on all this time. Although I'd say I've been pretty consistent this last year, the last year, and I've tried very hard to not miss a week, alternating between gardening and my Flosstube videos. So when the gardening stuff ends, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I might just enjoy that week off, or I might go to really quick episodes every week. Although, to be honest, every time I think I'm gonna make a quick episode, I don't. Oh gosh, I am doing the Midwestern goodbye and not even realizing it. So. All right, so before I deviate off again, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed a change of scenery and that you enjoyed your time with me today. Until next time, stay safe. Bye. Mwah.